All right, home stretch. This story takes place when I was in college. A naive time in my life when I still thought that threesomes were a good idea. I've been attracted to both men and women as long as I can remember. So it seemed to follow naturally that messing around with one of each of them at the same time would be fun, obviously. Most of the serious relationships I've been in, I ended up bringing in, or in some cases unsuccessfully trying to bring another woman into the picture. It always looks so seamless on the internet. But in my experience, the reality of it, somewhat different. The threesome failboat has sailed for me a few times, but one particular instance will always stick with me. Junior year, I was taking a British literature course, and a cute little blonde started sitting next to me a few weeks into the semester. She looked a lot like my ex-girlfriend. And what can I say? My taste is consistent. After several horrible experiences hitting on straight girls, I was usually cautious about approaching women. We didn't talk to each other much until we had a group project where we had to act out a scene from Hamlet. I was Hamlet. She was Ophelia. Let's just say after she showed up to the presentation in a Catholic schoolgirl outfit, I was like totally sold. I did a little digging, and lo and behold, I find out this girl, who we'll call Lauren, was into women. I was engaged at the time, so I went home and told my then fiance about it. We'll call him John. John was pretty straight-laced on that front, but pretended to be mildly interested just to humor me. I tried unsuccessfully, by the way, to get something going with another girl in the past, but I thought that he might actually go for this one. So we all ended up at the same bar for a friend's birthday party, and I saw my opportunity unfold in front of me. First, things were going well. We were all talking, and they flirted a little bit, and when I pulled John aside, he said he found her attractive. By this point, I was pretty sauced, so I took that as a giant go signal. Big mistake. Before long, Lauren and I were mugging down outside the bar. It's classy, I know. And John was just standing there with his jaw dropped. I'm not one to be greedy, so I tried to share the wealth. I kept pushing him on her, hoping that they would start making out too. What I was too drunk to notice was that she was completely repulsed by him. Completely. I tend to like very feminine girls, so most women I've been attracted to in the past were also attracted to men. Not Lauren, not even a little bit. So poor John is standing there with his fiance pushing a drunk, grossed out lesbian onto him when he really just wants to go home and go to bed. So I guess she was hoping that he would leave us alone, but liked me enough to tolerate his presence, so she suggested we leave. Lauren and I piled into the back seat of the car, doing God knows what, while John drove us back to our place. I can just picture him shaking his head the entire drive home, wondering how the hell he got into this mess, and probably cursing me the whole way, let's be honest. We get back home and the scene continues. Lauren starts to undress me, I start to undress her, and all the while I'm cluelessly trying to insert John into the scene very, very unsuccessfully. By the time she and I make it to the bed, we both completely pass out. John wasn't much of a drinker, so he was just standing there sober with his crazy fiance and a random naked drunk girl passed out in the bed. There wasn't really room for the three of us, so he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. Some point in the night, Lauren woke up and she must have been pretty disoriented because she was still wasted and didn't really know where she was. So she ended up falling asleep on the bedroom floor. John probably heard her fall down, and so he came back in, and then at this point he was like, I'll gladly take her place next to me in the bed. Dawn broke. And John woke up to a soft trickling sound, and he probably thought, oh, my aquarium just is so relaxing, or maybe it's, wait, I don't have an aquarium. So he looks over at Lauren, still drunk, and still asleep, and now peeing on our rug. Peeing on our rug. After a night of having his beloved try to force a lesbian on him, this was the last straw. He jumped up, woke her from her stupor. I was still in bed, blissfully unaware of what was happening, put the rest of her clothes on, shoved her into a cab. I woke up a few hours later, and John was so pissed he wouldn't even speak to me. I can't say I blame him. Anyway, yeah, she was so embarrassed she didn't really talk to me for the rest of the semester. Fail. Coincidentally, this is the last time I attempted to have a threesome. If any of you are considering it, I would just recommend stick with participants who are at least bi-curious. Also make sure they know where the bathroom is.